All right, holding it down continues. We're moving on to talk about the NBA offseason. Big news, obviously, is the LeBron James situation and Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Miami Heat. The interview by Pat Riley, where he's made some comments, basically, for all intents and purposes, just challenging LeBron James to stay in Miami, because he can't opt out and go somewhere else if he chooses to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I think a large thing with LeBron depends on what Wade and Bosh do, because if Wade and Bosh opt back into their contracts, they're still touting themselves as max guys.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade is not a max player anymore. That ship has sailed. So I think if these guys opt in, that's more ammunition for LeBron James to say, okay, I might have to remove myself from the situation now, because if those guys opt back in, they don't have the money to really bring in a player that can really help the team the way that is. That team is bad. After LeBron, the team is bad because Wade is old. Bosh kind of shows up when he wants to, and after that, everybody else is just old. Chris Anderson, Rashad Lewis, Chalmers isn't very good, and he said he was a big game player, but he didn't show up this year at all.
They're bad, but they're not bad for the East.
Oh no, not bad for the East. No.
So okay, yeah. I mean,
you know what? Without LeBron, they are bad for the East.
I don't know. I mean,
they may make the playoffs without LeBron. The team's the way that it is now.
Let's say as it is right now, the same team,
yes.
The same players all come back.
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to, but they all come back.
Right.
This team can still make the 8th seed, 7th seed with Bosh as, D-Wade going through his 20 games, 20 games he's out for the season. But I still see them,
They could probably sneak in. They would get beat in probably the first or second round.
Okay, but I mean,
they could probably sneak in, yeah.
They're better than Orlando and,
Atlanta.
Well, maybe not Atlanta, but
oh jeez.
Orlando, Philly,
yeah, but those teams are real bad.
Okay. The Bucks,
yeah,
but, still,
yeah.
They're fighter's chance, get around 39 wins, 35 wins.
Right,
I can't say 40, so whatever.
So now there's also the, because who knows what LeBron's going to do. Basically, that their whole success of that team and anything going forward for them is contingent upon LeBron's decision where he's going to go, if he's going to stay, if he's going to opt out and go somewhere else. Which brings up another interesting point, because if he does that, where does he go? Does he masterpiece some big plan to go somewhere with Carmelo Anthony?
The decision part 2?
Pray God, I hope he doesn't. Decision part 2. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope we never see that again.
Yeah.
That was a big win for ESPN.
It's taking his talents elsewhere.
A big fail for LeBron James. I don't know, because there's a lot of talk. Obviously, a lot of people see Melo going to Chicago. I don't see it. I see it. I don't see it. I don't know. It's just I don't think Derrick Rose would have to change his whole style of play. He may have to now at this point, only because I don't think he won't be the same anymore. He's not going to be the same Derrick Rose that he was before. Not after these back-to-back injuries like this. He's not going to be. His game was contingent upon his quickness, his speed, explosion.
But it wasn't the same exact injury. It was a meniscus this time.
Yeah, but it's still the knee.
It is.
And if it's not the knee, it's the ankle.
I think
his game is his legs.
I understand. Same as you. I see he can go to Chicago.
Yeah.
But I also don't see that happening now. But I can see him playing with them now.
Right.
But for them to get him though, they have to give up.
That's too much. Yeah,
give up a lot, though,
they'd have to give up a lot.
Taj Gibson and some other players.
Yeah, let me get all that. Give me him too. Give me all the players.
They have to actually. I think they have to amnesty Boozer to even afford to try to get Melo, because they don't have money right now.
Yeah, because Melo on the open market is max contract. You gotta give up max money. You gotta give up max money to get him. There's no doubt about that. There's also there's some comments. Dirk Nowitzki said that he doesn't see any situation where he doesn't see it's possible that Melo ends up in Dallas. That was always a slim shot anyway. I didn't really see that happening. Really, I didn't really see that as realistic.
Why would he want to go there?
I don't know why he'd want to go there. Because then he'd end up in the same situation once Dirk is gone.
Exactly.
It'd be like his situation now.
Yeah.
So that's not really a possibility. I mean, honestly, for what I see, next year Melo's going to be suiting up in the Knicks jersey. That's the way that I see it.
No,
Obviously, that's what I want. But honestly, that's the way that I look at it.
What about Houston?
Where does he fit in Houston?
As a 3. What do you mean? Was he?
No, I mean, where does he fit in the pecking order? Like, I don't. James Harden's taking all the shots. Like, where does he?
But I mean,
Dwight Howard barely got any shine to get the ball.
Exactly. So
so
it'd be Melo.
Where does that leave Dwight Howard?
Well, I mean,
Dwight's got a big ego.
He does.
He gotta get something. If he's getting nothing, if James Harden and Carmelo ain't taking all the shots, where does that leave Dwight Howard?
But I think it kind of works out for Dwight though, because he doesn't.
Would.
Yeah.
Would, yes.
So I think he won't mind kind of playing, third option, I guess. He
would have to swallow that. He would have to swallow that pride.
But it's not like he's someone who demands the ball and demonstrative and someone who's like give me the rock, let me get my buckets. He's
did that in Orlando.
He did in Orlando because he had to, because he was he was the number one pick and he was the franchise guy or whatever. And and it's also he was playing in a small market team as well, so it's not like he someone where the media was on him and everything.
Right.
But in Houston, it's a bigger media,
right.
And now also if you have Harden and Melo, expectations kind of rise a little bit.
Kind of.
Well, but and he won't mind being like a better or like a 2000 version of Bill Russell. Someone just board and block shots and give you some buckets.
He would have to alter his game to be more about that and less about having the ball. We've got Kevin Love on the table. There's some talks with the Warriors about a possible trade to send Kevin Love over to Golden State. What was the players in that trade there? I saw Kevin Martin. JJ Barrera. I believe.
Minnesota was offering Love, Martin, Barrera, and a pick. Which I don't understand. That's crazy right there.
And a pick.
And for Golden State, David Lee
and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and a pick, their pick as well.
So they're swapping picks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, the pick is just formality.
Yeah, but still, pick is a lot for Minnesota.
Pick is a lot for Minnesota to give up. Like you're already giving up a Kevin Love. I don't understand why the pick is involved, but nonetheless, it is what it is. But it's that's big talk there. I don't know if Golden State wants to give up Klay Thompson. Clearly his name's in the discussion, but when I say if they want to, should they? It's yes, okay, you're getting, from a guard play perspective, you're getting Kevin Martin in return, who's not really a spring chicken anymore. He's kind of been around for a while now. And you get Barrera, but I don't think you're getting the same value there. Klay Thompson has proven himself, obviously, we talked about this before, to be a very good, if not great, on-ball perimeter defender. Not to mention he's a great three-point shooter. So you have that. You're really not getting that in return. And then the David Lee, Kevin Love, yes, you're getting Kevin Love, you're getting a superstar, you're getting a guy who's
Is he a superstar?
He's a superstar. I'd say he's a superstar because, yes, he plays on a team where he's the option, but you still have to put up. The other team is just not letting him do what he's doing. You still have to play. He's putting up wild, crazy amounts of rebounds. He's bullying people for rebounds. He's getting points. He's getting blocks. He's a superstar. He's one of the best power forwards in the league, if not the best power forward in the league. That makes him a superstar.
So being the best in your position, being one of the best.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Let me just backtrack. Superstar is should be like 5-8 players. Should be a superstar. And then you have stars. Because superstar have to be, that much different, that much better than regular stars. I see there being at least 5 to 8. I'm just saying a random number. 5 to 8 players who are just, that's it. Boom. Franchise, these are your guys right here. These are the face of the league.
Right.
Is he one of those guys?
I think he is. I mean,
Yes, he has a commercial,
those,
whatever. He's a recognizable face.
He is a recognizable. And those 5 to 8 guys that you speak of, I think, start with picking those guys that are the best at their position. Like, you think about Chris Paul, point superstar, boom. You know, LeBron James, superstar, boom. You got to go after him. You got to go Melo, superstar, boom.
Durant.
You know, Durant, superstar, boom. And all superstars apparently a swingman. Because Paul George is a fringe. He's a star.
He's a star.
He's a fringe. He's missing that component to get his game. He's missing that component that, you know, that Melo has, that LeBron has. That component that just give me the ball and I got this.
No,
he's not.
Basically, like, superstars to me is like people who are an elite at something. You know, like, Chris Paul's an elite point guard.
Kevin Love's an elite rebounder.
He's a...
And he puts up points. He's not an elite scorer, but the man putting up... Yes, granted, that goes back to being the only
maybe
option.
that kind of works in your favor, me saying that.
A little bit, yeah, it does. I mean, just a little bit.
He's not... Okay. He's a good power forward. He's a great power forward, yes. But if he's a superstar, that means also LaMarcus Aldridge is a superstar.
He's fringe. He might...
Anthony Davis, Blake Griffin. I think they're all superstars if he's a superstar. Because those guys are right there with him. They don't put up the same amount of rebounds.
I don't think Anthony Davis is a superstar.
Not yet. Oh, fine. Not yet.
He's not there yet.
Okay, but
he's getting there.
Neither is Kevin Love. He's a great star.
I think he has crossed over. Like, he was a star.
Man.
I think in that stretch where he was dominating points, rebounds.
Okay.
He
has good numbers.
Blocks. Yeah, he's got great numbers.
All right.
You know,
is Rondo a superstar?
Rondo?
Yeah. He puts up great numbers. He has 20 games, 20 points, 26 games. I mean, he has...
But does he do that consistently? You know, I feel like every time you look at the stat line, Kevin Love's got 13 rebounds, 14 rebounds.
Yes, he averages 20-something in, like, 13 points. Okay.
Right.
But they don't win, though.
That's not his fault. He's got nobody else to play with him. It's him and nobody else. Like, who's playing Minnesota? Like,
Kevin Martin, apparently.
Exactly. It's him and then there's everybody else. Minnesota is not good. This is why he's trying to leave. I don't blame him. If he goes to Golden State, you'll see how much of a superstar he is. Playing with Steph Curry.
Well, okay. Back to the trade. Look, okay, let's just do it just play for player. You can't do it like that, but let's just do it like that.
But, you know.
David Lee, Blake Griffin. David Lee, Kevin
Love.
Kevin Love. Brain fart. Kevin Love's pretty much like a...
He's a better version of David Lee.
He is, exactly.
Because he can score.
Exactly.
And shoot.
That's it, though. Not defensively. Neither one was great. Neither one was
great
good,
defensively, but for rebounds, I think David Lee was better before than he is now because he started to get hurt. After he left the Knicks, he started to pile up a bunch of injuries. I think his rebounding has tailored off because of his injuries. So I think...
he also playing with Bogut now the last few years. Who's a very good rebounder.
Who's also has injury problems as well.
No, that's another issue in itself, whatever. So that's another reason why the whole... Kevin Love is not someone who, you could help, ask to, be your post defender down there. So
no, not really. No, you wouldn't ask him to do that. But he puts up rebounds, man. He gets boards. He gets boards. Like Drew gets buckets. Kevin Love gets boards.
Maybe that's back to plays on a bad team, whatever. A lot of errant shots, off the rebounds, putting back up.
This is true. I mean, we don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the Kevin Love discussion. My bet is that he ends up somewhere other than Minnesota because what is after this year anyway? He'd be a free agent.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back to Minnesota. You have to know that if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, that there is no chance that he's re-signing another contract in Minnesota. It's not happening. So your best bet is to trade him before that happens. So my bet is that he ends up somewhere. Golden State obviously looks like a possibility based on that deal that's on the table. I don't really know who favors in that deal, but we'll see what happens there. I think the Lakers obviously is a possibility for Love. I don't know if the Lakers have anything to deal for a trade. Yeah, if they have any assets to trade, but I don't know. I don't know who else is on the table because at this point now, it's Minnesota. It's more in Minnesota's hands. It's kind of like they're gonna find the best deal. He's gonna end up wherever they find the best deal. Obviously, Golden State was the big first name, for that high profile deal. Yeah. I think you'll see a lot of the other deals kind of come down the pipeline a little bit because Golden State put this out there. Another team's gonna go, oh, forget about that deal. I got this deal.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Kevin Love. Hope he ends up on a good team so he can showcase what I think is his greatness, his superstardom. Let me say that, his superstardom. So I think he ends up somewhere. I think Melo stays in New York. Honestly, I think LeBron stays in Miami ultimately.
Yeah.
And that means that I also think that Dwayne Wade opts out and re-signs for less money. Because if you're Dwayne Wade, there's no way you can feel comfortable, especially the kind of guy that Dwayne Wade has been over the years. He's not like a real cocky guy, it's not, he doesn't fit that bill of being like a guy that people hate.
Yeah.
He's
a me guy.
Right, he's not, So I think he may end up doing what's right, or what's best for the team, what's best for business.
Mm-hmm.
Which is to opt out, re-sign for less money, and then you get LeBron to come back, because clearly that's the best player on the planet, so you want him on your team. There's no way, if he leaves, you're done. This is it. That's it for Miami. You won't even smell another final again. You're just going to have to sadly end your career on this shell of, the superstar player that you used to be. Kind of same goes for Chris Bosh also. So I think they both have to, opt out, re-sign, less money. That way they can bring in another guy another solid younger guy that can be a good six-man. They're going to have to go get a point guard. It's a couple pieces. Like Pat Riley said, they have to retool. They don't have to rebuild. They're not there yet. They have to rebuild if LeBron James leaves, yeah. But they have to retool. I think him coming back and then everybody else opting out and re-signing for less money allows them, the space to go out and get players that, are gonna fit the system. They're gonna be good players. They're gonna, complement, LeBron and complement these guys and help them, I guess, get back to the finals really, because who else is it in the East right now? Everything is on the Pacers are in shambles, as far as team camaraderie, they're at the bottom of the barrel. They're here, and the Spurs are all the way up here. It's they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. They need to get it together. I think, it's true. I don't know what happened or whatever happened in Indiana was quite shameful to say the least. What do you got?
Question for you though.
Yes.
If you were D Wade, what would you do?
I would opt back in and take the money.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
No. Honestly, in all truthfulness, if I was Dwayne Wade and I had already made, how much money has he made already?
No. I hate that. I hate people always say that about Melo makes X amount of money already in his career. He should take less.
Here's what I got. If you're Dwayne, I'll repurpose the question. If you're Dwayne Wade, at this point in your career, what do you want to do? Make more money or win? Do you want to win more championships, or do you just want to ride off into the sunset, making more money on your bad knees and looking like a sad shell of your old self? Because that's what's gonna happen. He's just gonna look like a bum.
Why?
He's not gonna, because in comparison to his salary, in worth comparison. Because if he comes back, if he opts back in, what's he slated to make? I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what he's slated to make.
In the high teens, I think.
You're not worth that anymore. I'm sorry, he's not.
Okay.
And we all know that.
But that's his contract, right?
That is his contract. But that's why they're built this way.
Yes, but they still can. Even you still have players' contracts come off the books. Yeah, there were good deals, whatever. With good deals for those players. The bad Yates who's retiring, and Ray Allen who might not, whatever. Other players whose contracts going to expire. Maybe
Chris Anderson, I think.
Yeah, Haslam maybe. I don't know whoever. I don't know who's gonna, but a few players.
Do you want House to play?
He's one of the coaches. He's one of the coaches.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I see him on the sideline there.
But there's other ways to Pat Riley and his guy forget his name the what do you call him, the financial guy on there, the cap guy.
Yeah, basically.
So they'll figure out a way to get it all together. But I mean, why? I mean, look, as you mentioned before, he's done a lot for Miami. Before LeBron,
absolutely before
for the
LeBron.
Community, for everything, the charity, everything he's done. Whatever. He's Mr. Dade County.
Yeah,
whatever.
sure. He brought them a title.
Yes.
Well, Shaq really brought them the title, but that's.
Well, I mean that was old Shaq too. I mean, actually you could say Zoe brought him too because Zoe was on that team.
Though. He needed Shaq.
I mean, yeah, he did. But I mean, who won MVP?
He was, yes, but
who had like 40 free throws in like 2 games.
That allowed him. Shaq's presence allowed him. Yes, he was old Shaq, but he wasn't old Shaq. He wasn't Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers Shaq. He wasn't quite there yet. He was still, for the most part, he was still one of the best centers in the league. So it's.
Yes,
It's something they gotta figure something out because I don't think they're gonna make it work. These guys are making too much money, man. Him and Bosh are making too much money.
They are. I mean,
making too much money, man. They gotta do something. If they want LeBron to come, and LeBron, forget that. Then how much money is LeBron making on top of that?
Okay. These last 2 points. Whatever LeBron's gonna make, 18 million too as well, something similar to them, whatever. He's gonna be underpaid anyway. Like, he deserves 30 million, whatever.
Absolutely, he deserves his money.
If he doesn't go to Miami, where else could he go to? That's going to be in the finals, whatever. Well, not guaranteed, but it's going to have a good chance to be in the finals, like Miami.
Whoever it is, he could carry them to the finals, depending on what team it was.
You think so?
Like I said,
pick a team in the East.
In the East?
Pick a team in the East.
Ooh-wee. Pick a team in the East. Let's see.
That can get him. That's whatever team. I mean, anything would get him. Pick a team that has a legitimate shot to get him and.
See, I don't know who has a legitimate shot to get him.
Fine.
Like, I don't know.
Fine. Pick a team that he can go on.
He can go a lot of those teams in the East.
Pick a team.
New York?
They don't have the money for him.
They don't have the money. I don't know. Atlanta?
Okay. So, LeBron James and who plays for Atlanta again?
Teague?
Yes, Jeff Teague, yes. And that was a reach right there because you really dug down to and thought of him.
I mean, Al Horford.
Okay. Yeah.
But who's on the Cleveland team that made it to the finals?
Doesn't matter.
It wasn't any better than those guys.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it
does matter because he can take almost any roster. If you put LeBron James on it, you got a good chance of getting to the finals.
First of all,
he could go. You could throw him on the Magic with Stan Van Gundy coaching. They might just make it to the finals.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous now.
Not really. How so?
Oh, you mean Pistons? You mean?
That's Pistons. There we go.
Okay. First of all, go back to Atlanta. You have to work so hard next season going on, already turning 30 years old, that by the time the playoffs come along, first round playing some team, second round, third round, in the conference finals, whatever, he'll be done.
It depends. Yeah, he would be done, but it depends on what they have to face. If it's Indiana and they're cohesiveness.
Well, I hope in a year or whatever there will be,
They need to get it together.
I'm sure in a year.
So what about Detroit? What do you throw LeBron James on the Pistons right now?
First of all, if LeBron James joined the Pistons team right now that has Brandon Jennings hoisting up threes, Josh Smith hoisting up threes, I think he might kill someone. He might literally just grab someone by his neck or.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because Stan Van Gundy will do it.
Yeah, well, that team is just so OD, it's ridiculous.
But if you put him on it, do they not immediately become a contender? Who else? They got the 2 big men there. You got
Drummond and Monroe.
And Monroe. I mean,
I like them too.
Yeah, I mean, you put him on the Pistons.
But the other 3 players I don't like.
Yeah, well,
was it
Jennings and
Stuckey?
Josh Smith, Stuckey. I always liked Stuckey from before.
Yeah, 4 years ago, I liked him.
But with LeBron James as the centerpiece to all this, those are good pieces around a player like that. That's what I'm saying. Those pieces together right now are a mess. They're a mess.
I don't know.
But if you put LeBron James in the middle of it, that just kind of like smooths everything out. It just smooths all the edges out, and just LeBron James.
He would never go there though, but you know.
LeBron James, he makes up for your faults.
Of course.
So.
But that team had
they would
too
go
many
to the
faults.
finals.
So, no, first of all, he couldn't go there because I don't think financially they can afford him.
They probably couldn't.
Josh gets like maxed out. I don't know how he got that.
I don't know how he got that either.
And Jennings probably has a bad deal, and
because he got traded, right? Didn't he get traded over from Milwaukee or no?
I don't even know. It's Brandon Jennings. I don't even know.
Who knows?
Maybe he gave them a deal. I don't know. That team is bad.
Yeah, well,
they need help.
They'll be better. Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, I think they need a. What's that mean?
To put the reins on.
That's the reins?
Stop putting up these shots and you can be sitting on the bench. That's how it's going to go.
That's the reins? Okay.
But I think ultimately what's going to end up happening is he's going to stay in Miami, like I said. I mean, I think he'll stay in Miami. Let's hope that they...
That's the best option.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's really the best option. He can shrug it off all he likes, but, it's... he'll step up to the challenge laid out, by Pat Riley.
So who left his he left New York and he left his team before. So
yes, he did, and he asked LeBron James to leave his team also.
Yeah, exactly. So
it wasn't too long ago that the shoe was on the other foot, which is really really ironic.
That's
great. It is what it is. I think everything will pan out the same way. We'll see what Miami retools with, next year. They'll be back in the conversation.
Get some shooters out there.
They need more shooters.
Get Jim over there.
They shouldn't have let Mike Miller go.
Well, that was financial reasons, yeah.
So they say it was financial reasons. Well, he really wasn't making that much money.
No, he was making a nice little penny,
He wasn't making that much, man. They could have brought him back. The Heat will be back in there. The Pacers will be back in discussion again, obviously. Just their talent line alone, they'll be back, back in the East. The Bulls will be there again. We'll see where Derrick Rose is at with his recovery, but they're just going to be there because they're a well coached team. They're a well coached team in a good system. They got good players in a good system, and they'll just be back in there. Plus the East is weak, so it is what it is. The Knicks will be back in the playoffs next year. You can go ahead and bank that. You can go ahead and take that to the bank. Which is not saying much for the East.
If Melo's not there, then...
Well, if Melo's not there, they're not making the play. They might win 20 games if Melo doesn't come back. But we'll see how that goes. You don't know. One can only hope. The Wizards will be back up there too. They got a lot of talent. I like their roster. I like their roster a lot.
Same here. I mean...
to me, they were like the East Coast version of the Trailblazers.
I guess.
Similar a little bit in style and just kind of, I feel like they were very similar to the Trailblazers.
Yeah, they're another like knucklehead kind of team. Like it's fun watching them, but then it's like, what are you doing?
Well, that's the John Wall factor.
Man, he's exciting, and then he's like,
Yeah, that's the John Wall factor. But I think they can definitely make some. They're a very young team. They're a young team, well, except for Nene, but he's kind of been around a while now. Quietly. Nene Hilario, by the way, not Nene. I don't know when he decided that he was Madonna. He can go by one name.
He's Brazilian, I should say.
I guess. That makes it okay?
Why not?
Because you came into the league as Nene Hilario.
He's from Brazil, though. They all do that.
Whatever
Nene and Pepe and, all those Brazilian dudes,
Taking it back to the Chris Jackson days.
Well, no, I was taking it back to the...
Abdul Rauf.
Well...
Name changes.
Yeah,
name changes and dropping names.
Hey, why not?
Hold It Down is finished for this segment. Carmelo Anthony stay in New York. LeBron James stay in Miami. Kevin Love will not be in Minnesota next year. Whether it be by trade. It will be by trade because there's no way they're letting him walk into free agency. That would just be stupid because then you don't get anything for him. That would just be dumb. And they know he's not staying. So he's gone. He will be... Warriors are a possibility. A couple teams are a possibility.
Splash Brothers.
The Splash Brothers.
They gotta be together, man.
They do have to be
together.
That's
a great name. You gotta keep that together.
That is a great name. I have to admit. I like it. I do like it. It's marketing written all over it.
It is. Yeah, cause they were in New York too. Oh man, like this just
Forget about
this
it.
marketing,
Billboards everywhere. It'd be all over Madison Square Garden. Craziness. T-shirts would be out of control. Hats, gloves, hoodies.
commercials.
Forget about it. Socks. We're done here. Thank you for joining us about the off-season NBA talk, and we will catch you next time.